Internship presentation. My name is Hussein Sbeidi. I'm going to submit this to Professor Lara, Lourdes University College of Business and Leadership. This is a 3-credit class, BUS 340. This is going to be submitted Friday, July 20th, 2023. All right, here we go. So moving on to the second slide here, picture of my office. Okay, I really like this picture. This is my office. We have the turbo collision sign. I have my own space, my own computer, and my own desk. I thought it was a really cool picture because it's very neat and I have space that I like, and it's also very neat. I actually want to talk about something here that my supervisor, Mike, taught me. Mike taught me so many things, so many things, but one of the most important things is what I want to explain now. He told me, always keep your office very neat. And I asked him, why is that? What's so important about keeping the office neat? He told me, if you keep your office organized and neat, you will have success in anything. So he gave me an example of what he does in the morning. He told me, the first thing I do in the morning is my bed. And I told him, what does that have to do with anything? How does doing your bed is going to make you successful? And he told me, because the first thing I do in the morning is I complete a task successfully, I am committed, that will build up the day to positivity and success and building tasks successfully. So that was interesting of him. I thought that was very nice and a very important lesson to learn, which I will take with me forever, because I think he is completely right. Starting the day successfully will finish the day successfully. Anyways, moving on to the third slide here, we have a picture of my supervisor, Mike Bazzi, his name is. That's his daughter, Julia. Anyways, so I want to talk a little bit about Mike. I'll share a little bit of my opinion about him and the business side of him. So I think Mike is a very genuine guy. He's a very nice guy. As you guys can see, he actually let me stay here to actually be able to do this presentation. He trusts me with the shop for me to close the shop by myself. This is how much he trusts me. I think he's a very respectful guy. He's a very transparent guy. And Mike is not only my supervisor anymore. We built this connection with him, me and him, where we are almost friends now. He likes me and I like him. Of course, there's always professionalism between us so that we don't mix friendship with business, because that can be a little bit confusing and can lead the business down. Anyways, so the business side of Mike is a person who leads in the action-wise leadership. He likes to have communication. He likes his employees to communicate with one another. If there's no communication, he knows and he tells me that the company will fall apart because everyone is not sharing their opinion and keeping it inside their hearts, meaning they will not work with the bottom of their heart. So everyone needs to stay connected and communicated with each other to be able to excel in this company. Now, just a little bit of an overview of Turbo Collision. Turbo Collision is a dynamic and growing organization operating in the automotive industry. We are primarily engaged in providing top-notch vehicle repair and maintenance services. Our mission is to deliver superior quality, efficiency, and customer satisfaction in all our operations. Moving on to the fourth slide here. Okay, one thing that is very important that I'm going to talk about is the turbo collision environment. Okay, so this is very important, especially for this company, and I will explain this in details why. This company, the environment is super important, specifically this company, because the employees, all of the employees are foreigners. So if all of the employees are foreigners, some of them are from Lebanon, some of them are from Mexico, right? If all of the employees are foreigners, the environment is going to be different because everyone comes from a different culture. So it's very important in this company, Turbo Collision, to have an environment where we all connect with one another and we all feel like it is a safe place here. And this is why here at Turbo Collision, as I said, Mike wants us to communicate everything that's inside of us. And he's very open-minded and he's very open for everyone. Next up is my Turbo Collisions learning environment. I have learned that this is one of the most important things, the environment. In my future career or businesses, I will take into consideration the environment because this will affect how the employees work and how they actually function with one another. So that's super important. Again, my supervisor is Mike Bazzi, and the general manager is also Mike Bazzi. All right, moving on to slide 5 here. So what I did for Turbo Collision, let's talk a little bit about that. Ensuring incoming staff complies with the company policy. So as I said before, because we have, or almost all of us are foreigners here, they are not familiar with the company policy here. And everybody needs to understand the regulations, the rules. These need to be explained to them in details so that they are compliant with them. Training staff to follow collision procedures. Each person has to follow these procedures because it's very dangerous and anything can go wrong at any time. So, for example, gloves need to be worn for certain jobs. Masks need to be worn for specific jobs, and there are different masks. There are different gloves for different parts, different jobs. So these things are very important, and we need to make sure they are following these things. Our employees, of course. Maintaining safety and quality standards. As we said, it's very important to keep safety and quality standards because this is a very dangerous job. I will give you guys an example. Our painter needs to wear masks every time he paints, and people cannot be around him when he's trying to mix the paint. Because if he does mix the paint and someone is around them without a mask, these toxic chemicals can get into your lungs and create problems. Maybe go to the hospital. So it's very important to follow safety and quality standards. Moving on. Keeping customers happy and handling complaints. So whenever we have customers that are disappointed or not happy, we will comply with them and we will actually try to fix and resolve the problem. We will ask them, what is wrong? I think you guys did a terrible job. I want my refund, or I want you guys to redo the job. Okay, can you guys show us what we did wrong? And if we go and we see that we did something wrong, we will actually do it, redo the whole job. But if a customer is trying to take money from us for something that we did not agree on, we will try to work something out with them, but most likely it will not work out. Organizing schedules. So the collision shop, there's employees, we have to organize. The painter must paint at this time. The frame guy must do the frame at this time. The mechanic guy must do this at this time, etc. So these things are important. Also, organizing schedules. I have to meet my supervisor at this time. I have to meet with the marketing agency, marketing team at this time. So all these are important. Organizing schedules are very important. Keeping track of employees' hours. This is very obvious. We have to keep track of the employees' hours. Okay, moving on here. So what I did for Turbo Collision. So recording payroll data, ordering parts, paint, gloves, and other supplies while staying within the budget limitation. This is something I will stress on. One of the most important tasks that I did here at Turbo Collision was ordering parts and paint. Most of the time I was on the phone ordering parts and paint all of the time. What does it mean to stay within budget limitation? Budget limitation means, I will give you an example that is very, very important, right? This will clarify everything. So let's say I am trying to order a specific part, and that specific part is available in 5 other businesses. If I just pick the phone, I can pick the phone right now and call any one of those businesses and order the part. But I might have missed out on saving money for the business. What if one of the other businesses has it for cheaper, the same part? So what I would do instead, I would call all 5 or 4, however many businesses there are, and I would take a quote from each. And then I would actually take the cheapest and order the part. So that is how I sit within the budget limitation. Supervising daily shift operations, coordinating daily front and back of collision operations. So make sure that everything here is working correctly in the office and in the collision. Controlling operational costs and identifying ways to cut waste. This is what I explained. How can I get a cheaper part to save money? I've already explained how. Moving on, appraising staff performance, interviewing, recruiting new employees. We felt like multiple times we've had overload of work, so we had to interview new employees, but none of them actually worked out with my time here. Interacting with guests to get feedback on product quality and service levels. Okay, let me talk about that. So this is very important because there's something called Google review on Google. If you type in anything right now on Google, restaurant near me or a collision near me, you will have Google showing you list of restaurants or collisions, right? The first one is probably what the people are going to click on. So how do you get to the first one? How do you be number one, ranked number one? Well, to do that, right, you have to have good Google reviews. If you have one bad Google review, this will decrease your ranking. So this is very important. Moving on to slide 7, learning experiences, developing and maintaining business relationships. Very important to keep interaction with relationships with the businesses. Time management, how to manage my time. Adapting to many different management styles. Sometimes you have to deal with people differently than you deal with other people. It's just the way it is. Proficiency in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. This is very obvious. How to put my knowledge and skills into practice, for sure. Look, what I learned here is what you learn in the classroom, you will do it here, but on hands is completely different. You will learn faster when someone is doing it in front of you. The benefits of networking, very important. Very important because whenever we have a problem and we know a guy that can fix it, boom, we call him, boom. That's the importance of networking. We can fix things right away. And in this industry, speed is the most important thing because customers don't like to wait for their cars. We have to fix them really quick. Understanding workplace culture. We spoke about the culture, how the environment is important. The benefits of taking on feedback. We already spoke about Google reviews. So those are things that I actually learned here, right? Those are all things that are learning experience towards me. Moving on here. Opportunities at Turbo Collision. Organizational identification and adjustment. So the opportunities here are what we spoke about in my assignments, right? So the concept of organizational identification, which I learned in my business communication class, became incredibly relevant during my time at Turbo Collision. It speaks to how an employee perceives and aligns with the organization's values, okay? Moving on, the path goal theory in practice. One of the most enlightening experiences during my internship was witnessing the path goal theory of leadership, a topic from my management concept class. And this was what I was talking about with my supervisor, Mike Bazzi, right? He demonstrated this theory perfectly. His leadership style adapted to the needs of his subordinates, providing clear directions and tailored support to enhance performance and satisfaction. So communication. Taking constructive criticism well. Also, emotional intelligence in professional relationship. So I learned this in my business communication class. It became my guide in navigating my professional relationships. The ability to understand, manage, and express my emotions in an effective and controlled manner not only improved my interactions, but also helped in building strong connections with my colleagues. So again, expressing myself is what Mike taught me. And this is everything we learned in the business communication class. Okay, work hard no matter what you're doing. This is very obvious. Working hard will always pay off. Independence, you always have to rely on yourself no matter what. Making connections, always have to make connections for the future. You're more important than you think. This is actually true. Everyone has a role in the company. If you're not there, the company will not work. My conclusion. So I I can say without a doubt that it has been an enriching journey. Applying academic theories to the real world situation has given me an in-depth understanding of the business world, but more than that, it has provided me with the invaluable life skills. Why I recommend this experience? So the reason I would recommend similar experiences to others is the unique blend of learning and growth that an internship offers. It's a golden opportunity to test the waters, to apply your academic knowledge, and to acquire a slew of new skills. It's a platform where mistakes become learning opportunities, challenges become stepping stones, and theoretical knowledge meets practical application. I'm sorry, my camera cut off again. Anyways, to end this, my references is turbocollision.com. I want to thank you, Professor Laura, for listening. And I want to also thank my COO, Mike Bezzi. He also helped me a lot. And it has been a hell of a ride. I really enjoyed this, and I recommend this for everyone. Thank you.